California. We are at 9 pips for
What
California.
is Freeman doing in Missouri?
I don't understand putting that much money into Louisiana.
North Carolina going into the Republican
This is one of the
Conference.
most stunning results in 270 Live history.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're watching, and thanks for tuning in to 270 Live. We've got one exciting matchup here today, folks, in the KFC Yum Center in beautiful Louisville, Kentucky today. It's a showdown between number 5 seeded Jack Allen and number 9 seeded Abigail. They may be fighting in the loser's bracket, but these two rookies have surely shown that they deserve to be here with some impressive games in the first round. Who will survive and move on, and who will be eliminated from this third annual 270 Live tournament? As always, I'm Keegan Fong in the booth alongside Riley. And Riley, what do we have in store for this exciting matchup today?
I mean, I think we have two of the most promising rookies that we've seen within the 270 Live community. I mean, with two fantastic coaches, with Abigail being coached primarily by you and JA primarily being coached by Ryan, I think we're going to see kind of the clashing of two coaching philosophies. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm really excited to see how it goes.
It's going to be interesting to see what candidates these two competitors choose. Last time, I, like you mentioned, faced off against Abigail. It was a nail-biter in the end. I came away with a 277-261 victory. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, you played Jack Allen in the first round. It ended up getting the lead that you had ended up expanding by quite a bit, but there were certain points in which a potential upset did look like it could happen. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these two outstanding rookies come together and clash here. We see from JA a Donald Trump, so he's going to be playing Republican. Meanwhile, Abigail has gone with Barack Obama. That's a character we haven't seen in this tournament yet, so it's going to be interesting to see where she takes Obama. Riley, if you are playing Obama, what's the keys to winning the match?
Can you pull up his bonuses real quick? I want to see this. Because, again, you don't see Obama that much. I mean, and I think part of why is we see, that 50% youth vote. I think we saw 45%, 30%, and a couple other of those national groups. It's kind of a similar character to RBG where, obviously the 50% African-American bonus, fantastic. Seems like more of a national group player, but I think really, focusing either high-tech town and down, or maybe even going Old South adjacent, try and get some of those African Americans.
And seeing out of this turn one, we got 49 electoral votes of 47. We see some pretty standard starts so far. Dem New York start for Obama, Old South start for Trump. Riley, if you're JA here, what's your next move after you finish up getting this Old South? How are you going to combat that huge Obama bonus that could be lurking in the South and African American?
I mean, I think I just go with the pure and tried strategy of maybe going to places like Michigan, going to places like Pennsylvania, and trying to get that swing state bonus and kneecap some of those potential high-tech bonuses that could be coming with a place like, a New York, Utah, New Hampshire combo. I think expanding out that way would be the best move for Jay to make.
One of the beautiful things about seeing two promising rookies like this play is there's going to be maybe some unconventional plays. There might be some mistakes. We're going to see a variety of different strategies possibly. So it's going to be interesting to see how these decisions are made as we see a somewhat aggressive Trump play Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, while also wrapping up in the South. Meanwhile, Abigail taking 3 in Utah, New Hampshire, some of those key pounding down high-tech states. Trump is going to pick up Old South, and so that'll put him at 87 electoral votes. What do you make of this board so far, Riley?
I mean, I think the investment in Illinois, I think, was a little bit surprising to me for Trump. Illinois has a fair amount of bonuses in places like, African American, trade, places like that. A little surprised to see that one, but I think seeing states like Iowa and Michigan come on the board for Trump, I think it's aggressive play. I think it's good. I think Obama, I think it's a pretty traditional route, and should be taking New York soon.
We're going to get a conflict in Arizona. It's our first conflict state. 1 pip each, so that will revert back down to 0. Meanwhile, Obama, Delaware, and D.C. Trump gonna pip into Georgia, 3 pip into Illinois, as is Iowa. Meanwhile, Massachusetts, Obama's gonna get to 3 there. Michigan, we're gonna have competition. Trump to 3, Obama to 1. New York, finally 3 for Obama. So that means Obama 55, Trump 103. Obama will have the 101,000 out of town and gown to play with. Money advantage, slightly Obama, though it's pretty much marginal at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I do think Trump getting that 3 pips into Michigan, I think was important, but I think Abigail putting some money into that and getting established early on, especially if she tries to go kind of the swing state high-tech route, I think will prove to be to her benefit. I'm interested to see still what Trump does with Illinois.
A quick turnaround on that turn. 3 pips for Obama in Arizona, as is in Delaware and D.C. Trump to 3 in Georgia. Michigan's the big one, and Obama's going to power through. Look at that. 6 pips into Michigan. That's going to go blue for Obama as of now. Texas and Wisconsin, big pips for Trump. So he's going to take a little bit of a loss from that Michigan steal, but Trump is going to get his foot into the Texas door.
Interesting. You see, if I were Abigail right now, I might look into trying to take another one of Trump's states while he's having to do those 200 pips into Texas. I think that Michigan play was really smart. I think it's going to help her get that much closer to high tech.
It's a savvy move, but there are still some high-tech states on the board that she's yet to pick up. And then there's that ever-looming question of California. Riley, what's your philosophy when it comes to California? Because that's always been a controversial state in the 270 Live world.
I mean, I think between, that and Texas, I always prefer saving up and trying to do a 2-pip into it. Oh, wow.
As we're going to see, as there it is, Obama's going to pip into California, meanwhile shoring up Michigan and Arizona. Trump's in Nevada and in Pennsylvania. 2-pip into Pennsylvania and a 3-pip into Wisconsin. So that means out of this turn 5, finishing up 135, 178. No new state groups just yet, though. Presumably, these candidates are going to be getting close to some Republican swing states. It looks like that's the direction. Meanwhile, manufacturing still open. Ag, high tech. Abigail is close to that line on high tech. Oil and gas and Latino are still far away. And African American, the race for African American is huge here.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that California and Texas got investment before Florida. I mean, Florida, you get a pretty wide range of benefits, including in agriculture and swing states, which are both groups that I think are really up in the air. See no investment there. It's curious at this point.
We're going really fast here. Alabama, California. Obama pip into Georgia and Obama pip on Iowa. He's going on the offensive. Meanwhile, Trump showing up Mississippi and Pennsylvania. That will probably lock him up swing states. Texas, 1 more pip by Trump into Texas. He's at 2 pips for now. So that means Trump's going to increase to 187. He's going to pick up swing states, but Obama has entered some of his key territory.
See, Keegan, who do you think will be the first person at this point to go into Florida?
I mean, this is pretty shocking here. We're in turn 7. We've got a lot of I'd argue actually, all of the key states picked into this point, except for Florida, and it's really rare you see that. It's rare you see 2 pip into Texas and no Florida. It's rare you see that much investment in Michigan and Arizona, no Florida. I don't know. It's obviously advantageous to both of these characters, and we're going to see where they go next. We've got 3 pips into California for Obama. A race in Georgia, though Trump's going to go pretty far ahead. Iowa, a max out, so that's our first maxed out state. Obama will take Iowa and its 6 electoral votes. He'll also pip into Louisiana. Trump, meanwhile, in South Carolina, he is going to get to the 3 line in Texas. Still no Florida pip, though. 141, 181. High tech will go to Obama. That's 120,000. Meanwhile, Trump's going to pick up manufacturing base. That's $93,000 extra. I'm going to now send it down to our sideline reporter, Ryan. He's got a report from the JA side. Take it away, Ryan.
Hi, Keegan. Yeah, I'm here down on the sideline talking to some people in JA's campaign, and there was a lot of turmoil about that Texas decision. It was kind of pretty early to go in there, and then the turn after, not putting a second pip in, waiting. So it's taken him 4 turns to take Texas. There's a lot of disagreement about strategy right now in the JA campaign, but maybe a couple mistakes by Abigail as well has led it to be a very, very close matchup. So, it's kind of wait and see mode down here. But again, you do have an inexperienced player here in JA, so we'll just have to see if he can pull this out.
Thanks, Ryan. Go get yourself a cough drop. Meanwhile, turn 8, seconds ticking down here. Riley, just briefly, Florida, let's talk about it. What's going on here?
I mean, at this point, I think it's to Trump's advantage, just solely because of that swing state bonus. That's an extra, that's a lot of money that could be dedicated just to Florida, especially since you can put up some Old South money to defend in Georgia.
And here we go in Florida, conflict! 200,000 each by the candidates. That's going to get burned. Conflict there. Trump will max out Georgia as well as pipping into Colorado. Meanwhile, Obama's going to match him in Louisiana. That's an interesting choice. 1 pip by Obama in Maryland, 2 in Minnesota. Trump's in New Mexico. In Ohio, Trump's 2 in. Obama will enter Pennsylvania, as will he enter Virginia. So, not a lot of movement that turn. Florida conflict obviously big, but Obama has gotten his foot in to a lot of key Republican states in the South here.
Mm-hmm. And see, almost if I'm Obama, I almost seed Florida at this point. Let him spend their money there and keep him guessing on that Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, maybe even put a pip into North Carolina. Because I do think, I don't think you're going to take away swing states by winning an arms race in Florida. I think you take that by strategically taking out one of those red wall states one of the Rust Belt states that JA has right now.
I mean, it's interesting to note, even with that swing state bonus, the money advantage is only $7,000 right now. So both these candidates are basically neck and neck when it comes in terms of money. Obama's a bit down on electoral vote count, but it's still decently early. We're on turn 9, and a whole vast array of white states still on the board here. 2 locks so far, Iowa and Georgia. 1 going to Obama, 1 going to Trump. Meanwhile, in Florida, there's the Obama concession. He is going to give it to Trump. Meanwhile, Obama's going to take Maryland, so that's a swing of 20 electoral votes there. Trump's progressing in New Mexico and Ohio. Meanwhile, in Virginia, that's another Obama steal. Max out for Obama. That's going to bring him up to 174, 220. And so that means Jay is going to lose a little bit here. He's going to go down to 220, but he is going to pick up ag and export with that Florida play. So that means still some work to do for Abigail in the Obama camp.
And listen, I liked that turn from Abigail right there. I think Florida, is just a little bit lost. I think, with how late it went, I think it benefited Trump to go more into there. And Trump's going to have a lot more money to expand the map right now to potentially ballot rush, which I think could be a problem for Abigail. So I think, if she's able to take off a state like Pennsylvania, maybe even a state like Illinois, if she decides to pip there, I think personally is going to be her clearest route to a victory.
I mean, I want to point out we are looking at razor-thin margins here on export, on oil and gas, Latino, and most importantly, African-American. We are talking just minuscule amounts of money to pull you over the line here. We are talking about only a few states of battle. This is going to be the key turns here of who can wrest control of some really important state groups here.
Oh, certainly. I mean, and I do think it's still worth pointing out, the money, there's not a huge money gap here. And I think that's good for, Obama, especially with the difference in state groups right now.
As the seconds are ticking down on turn 10, we've got Obama maxing out Arizona. Trump's going to progress to 3 in Colorado. That will help him with oil and gas and Latino. He'll enter Kansas. Meanwhile, Louisiana, we're going to have a conflict, a max-out conflict that will revert back to Donald Trump, though that's a huge loss of money for Obama. Meanwhile, Trump is going to take Maryland, so that's 10 electoral votes back in the Trump campaign. Michigan maxed out by Obama. In North Carolina, Obama's going to enter the state. In New Mexico, Trump's up to 3. In Pennsylvania, Trump will defend. No movement by Obama there, and Obama's going to enter Tennessee. So that means with this turn over, look at that huge amount of money burn, 175, 236, and maybe somewhat ironically, Donald Trump is going to pick up African-American vote before Barack Obama.
See, I would have taken that money. I would not, if I were Abigail. I don't understand the Louisiana play. I mean, just with the Old South oil and gas combo, I would not spend a single penny more in that state. I would try and secure Tennessee, sneaky 11 electoral votes right there, potentially maybe sneak away that African American. Though it's going to be tough with Trump's defense in Maryland.
You gotta start feeling that maybe this is slightly starting to slip away from Obama here. Trump's got a pretty sizable state group advantage. He's got African American, ag, manufacturing, Old South. Export is an odd one, but he's got it, as does he have swing states. We're going to sit down to the sideline for Ryan, who is on the Abigail, with the Abigail camp. Ryan, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Keegan. I've got some of the cough drops, and I've made my way over to Abigail's camp here, and there's a lot of turmoil going on. I mean, we all know that she's a product of the most prestigious 270 Academy located in Memphis, Tennessee, the Fong Academy. And there's just a lot of turmoil that the fact that Jack Allen, who's from, of course, the Martinez Academy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is starting to surge here and potentially is the favorite to upset a prodigy of who we thought was the best mentor and teacher in the game. I mean, there's a lot of people asking questions of whether or not we're going to see a change in the U.S. News Academy rankings.
Thank you, Ryan. Though I would like to point out, Abigail did enter as the lowest seed in this game. Regardless, we're seeing conflicts in, competition in some key states like North Carolina and Pennsylvania this turn. Trump is going to take the lead in Tennessee, though, and he's going to pip into some of these various oil and gas states. So, out of this turn 11 over 185, Trump has crossed over that 270 threshold. He's at 286. Riley, is there any hope for Abigail to claw this thing back?
Here's a theory I have, Keegan, and you're going to have to trust me a little bit. Do you think, and I would have preferred this last turn with a little bit more money, do you think with a player that, not as experienced with JA, what would you think about a 4-pip surprise in Florida?
In Florida, I'm staring at that thing. That thing's like the Green Goblin mask, just pulsating, telling me to go in there. I mean, it would be a hell of a play, but I'm not sure that's something that is even in the arsenal of Abigail at this point. And Trump's going to pip into some of these oil and gas states. Obama's going to enter Connecticut and Illinois, a 2-pip in Illinois, so that's a lot of investment in Illinois, trying to take back Obama's home state. Meanwhile, Louisiana, this is our third conflict in the state of Louisiana. I mean, these guys are just mashing the button against Louisiana. North Dakota, meanwhile, Obama's going to max it out with that town and gown money, so Trump will not take battleground North Dakota. He will take, for now, Nebraska, Oklahoma, South Dakota. In Tennessee here, Trump's going to go to 5 pips in Tennessee. Obama's in Washington, Trump's in West Virginia, and in Wyoming, Trump's going to get to 3. So that means our ballot, our electoral count total right now, 207, 291. Trump is going to pick up oil and gas. That's $93,500. We are rapidly getting to the end of the game with only a few white states remaining.
I don't understand putting that much money into Louisiana when you could have secured 3 pips into Tennessee, potentially fought off, a fight by JA there, and maybe take African American. You have a 50% bonus there, and with a money pot as big as the African American state group, I don't see why you go more aggressively for that, especially since Trump is over the 270 mark.
Like you said, Trump is over that magic 270 mark. He's going to pip in Arkansas, so some of these white states are going to come off the board here. Meanwhile, Obama in Colorado, Trump in D.C., huge in Illinois. Trump going to max it out. That is going locked up for Donald Trump. He's going to lock up Louisiana as well, so no 4th conflict there. Meanwhile, Obama's in Nevada. Trump is going to enter New Hampshire, so everything is just going crazy this turn. Obama's in New Mexico. Obama's going to tie in Pennsylvania. I don't get that, Riley. Explain that one to me.
You see, sometimes there's a bit of, you don't want to risk having your opponent spend, 1 pip and you lose, a lot. But I think this late in the game, I think that just alerts, JA to the fact that, Obama and Abigail are going to that territory, and he's going to be able to defend that and not really think twice about it. No, I would have gone for the kill there, and I think that's what Abigail has to do at this point, because That's a lot of electoral votes you have to make up.
I mean, we're gonna need something drastic here if Obama wants to make up ground. He is down right now by 90 electoral votes, with only 5 states up for grabs still. Trump has a pretty comprehensive money advantage now. It's nearing $400,000, though obviously some of that's going to be locked up in state groups that are kind of unusable at this point. We are in turn 14, and the turns are rapidly concluding here. Our game might be ending decently soon, but it's still competitive as ever.
Yeah, I would, if I were Trump right now, I would go for the ballot rush. I would go for the kill. I made sure you defend your biggest states. I think, if Obama wants to take off a Wyoming or something like that, I think you can live with that. But I would just go for the kill right now.
Let's see the returns on this. Trump's going to 3 into Arkansas. He's going to defend in Colorado up to 8 pips there. He's going to take D.C., so D.C. is going to swing to Donald Trump, bringing him to 304 with that Hawaii and Idaho grab. He's going to take Montana as well, so it looks like we'll probably see ballots soon. Max out in North Carolina. In Nebraska, Trump is going to go to 3. Nevada, that was a state Obama pipped into. Trump is going to defend that well, maxing it out. 6 electoral votes locked up. Meanwhile, Trump's going to steal New Hampshire, so that's a loss for the Obama camp, bringing him down to 200. Battle in New Jersey, so we will not see ballot just yet, as both candidates 2-pip there. In New Mexico, Trump's going to hold the lead there, though a lot of investment. Pennsylvania, that's a big one. Trump's going to secure it for sure. The Keystone State and his 19 electoral votes locked up for Donald Trump, and that means Obama 200, Donald Trump 324.
I mean, I don't think it's a surprising turn, but although New Jersey, the conflict there, keeping it from going to ballot, I think that solidified what should be a pretty comfortable win for Trump and JA this match.
Obama's in a few remaining Trump states, but the board and options are pretty scant here. Trump's got obviously still the money advantage. We're looking at a pretty comprehensive win for Trump, unless, honestly, a miracle is going to happen. As this turn's going to finish, Colorado, that's going to get locked up by Trump. 10 electoral votes for Trump. Connecticut, Obama's 3-pip there. Obama will still D.C. back, so if that's any consolation prize, Obama will go and take D.C. Trump's 3 in Hawaii, in Idaho. Obama's entering Mississippi. Trump is up to 3 Montana and New Jersey. Wow! I mean, that's insane. That is a 5-pip conflict in New Jersey. Late in the game, you don't see that very often. Meanwhile, Trump in Oregon. Obama in South Carolina. Trump's going to max out Tennessee. And in Washington, Obama's going to get up to 3. So, no ballot just yet. I mean, look at the amount of money conflicted there in New Jersey. That is an absurd amount. $425,000. An absurd amount of money to just burn out of that turn.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, first of all, you don't see, that sort of conflict off in a state like New Jersey with very limited state group bonuses. I think those, the pips in Mississippi and South Carolina are curious to me, just because I think JA's got enough, left over Old South money that I think those will be swamped with money immediately.
I mean, you gotta think this is a little too late at this point if you're Abigail in the Obama camp. Obama is gonna take New Jersey with 4 pips. I mean, that's pretty gross, I'm not gonna lie. Very few moves on that turn, and so that means Obama's going to go up to 217. Obama's going to pick up Latinos, that's almost 100,000. I mean, here's the deal, right? Even if this is somehow a sneaky Florida push, I don't think that wins Obama the election, does it?
It doesn't, and I don't think Abigail is in quite enough states to drive him anywhere else, honestly. I don't know if, I haven't done the math, I don't know if she flips every state that she's in with Trump. I don't know if that wins the election at this point.
Riley, we're looking at this map here. I think Florida might be the only one that isn't maxed out. So even with a swing at 30, that will mean Trump is going to win this election with ballot coming. It's been an interesting game, to say at least. I think, obviously, online's already a buzz with this conversation about Florida. What? wrong in Florida this game? What happened?
I mean, listen, I truly can't tell you. Just to see at turn 7 in a, and what was frankly, I don't think this should be forgotten, a very competitive game, both electoral vote and money wise, for a long time. I mean, I think JA was the first one to go for the kill in Florida, and obviously, I think that was the key.
So,
no spend by JA then. Wow.
No, a confident no spin by Jack Allen. I'm sure the press will have a hell of a time interpreting that one. But that means our final score here in this matchup in Louisville, we've got Trump and Jack Allen 321, Abigail and Obama a 217. And this is going to be our final board. An interesting match. I'm sure one that will have plenty of breakdowns online. It's certainly been an exciting one. We're going to sit down to our sideline reporter, Ryan, who's there with the Jack Allen count. Ryan, take it away with our victor.
There's a giant crowd down here at Keegan. I mean, it is just overflowing with people. Everyone's rushed the field. The fans, I've always loved JA's campaign. I'm not able to get to him right now. I'm working my way through the crowd. I'm going to have to send it back up to you, though, as I get over here.
No worries, Ryan. I've got Abigail here if you want to interview the
Oh, I got Jack. I'm with Jack now. Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I appreciate it. There's a lot of people down here. The crowd is very excited about your victory, and to be honest, I'm tearing up a little bit down here. I've been your mentor, been your coach over the past few years. Seeing your rise from the amateur leagues to the professionals. Where do you think you kind of turned this game around and you kind of knew that you were in the driver's seat?
I thought once I was starting to get control of more and more state groups, I just felt like, I'm having more money to spend. Okay, this is looking better and better for me. But Abigail played such a great game, and I've never played against Obama, so that was really exciting. And I really look forward to playing her in numerous matches in the future.
JA, I guess last question. Do you think that this victory kind of marks the end of the Fong Academy as like the place you go to learn 270, and maybe there's other options out there that might be better?
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just, I heard something up in the booth. Just making sure you heard the question.
Oh, yes. I think the Fong Academy has really produced some stellar players. I mean, we can't deny that. But I mean, I'm always grateful, to my roots and where I come from, and I certainly would recommend anybody to go study under Ryan Martinez. I think he's really, really quite fantastic, and I have everything. Really, I'm indebted to him in many ways, but no, I would not necessarily say it's the end, but certainly the Ryan Martinez school of thought is becoming more and more popular and is really quite can be quite successful, I think, for many players.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely on the rise. Back up to the booth, to Keegan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks so much.
You'll be getting a cease and desist letter about those comments about the Fong Academy, by the way. Meanwhile, I am here with Abigail. Abigail, tell me what happened out there. What went wrong?
Jack Allen played a great game, and, he did a great job of locking me out of African American. And I think once I was kind of lost to that state group, that was kind of where the tide turned. I probably fought him too long in Louisiana, but just trying to get a hold of African American if I could. And, he did a great job of locking me out of that.
A tough way to lose and get knocked out of the tournament, but what's next for you in 270 in the 270 world? You've been one of the more exciting rookies out of this class, and the internet's obviously abuzz with the two performances that you've put up. Not necessarily wins, but at least good performances for the future. Anything in store moving forward out of this tournament?
Well, it sucks to be out of the tournament, and I wish Jack Allen the best of luck going forward. But we're just going to keep hitting the simulator, keep learning more and more about how to be more aggressive, how to fight effectively, and, you know, hopefully by next year, my skill level will reflect the work that I'm about to put in.
Thank you. So with that, it's been an exciting matchup. Trump winning 321-217 against Obama. JA, we will see him next in Boston for the next round of the losers bracket of the tournament. As always, I've been Keegan in the booth alongside Riley. Thank you, and as always, good night, Omaha.